The air was warm, the sun was shining, and all of Ponyville was having a glorious day. The town square was bustling and crowded. Busy ponies were making their busy way through the streets. All the folk of Ponyville seemed to have someone needed to be somewhere to be at, all except Rainbow Dash. Her place was the sky. She freely tore through the air, speeding one way and the next. She buzzed at the treetops and raced towards the wind. The Pegasus flew over a schoolyard, much to the delight of children, climbing through several hundred feet. She dove, going as fast as she could. Seconds before hitting the ground, her wings flew open, and she took off back to the clear blue. Rainbow felt alive. She remembered that she needed to be somewhere. She's supposed to meet up with Pinkie Pie in 5 minutes. She hadn't gotten so caught up in her exercises that she nearly forgot. Pinkie had asked Dash to meet her at Sugar Cube Corner at the time. She didn't say why or what they needed to be doing, but Dash knew that Pinkie, it could be anything. She sure wasn't sure if she needed to go through. She was so engaged with her stunts so that she thought about Pinkie blowing her off to continue flying. But Dash's concerns got the better of her. She knew that it would hurt Pinkie's feelings. After all, she said she was going to have something special just for the two of them. She considered it and thought, why not? And what did she have to lose? Heck, it might be some more pranking. Pinkie might have found a new bunch more fun stuff to pull on the folks. They'd be so much fun like last time. Dash kicked it to the overdrive, mostly for make it for lost time, and sped for her appointment. When she walked into the store, she was immediately greeted with her host bouncing in excitement. "Yay, you're here! You're here! I've been waiting all day," she said, the jumping pony. "Sorry if I'm a little late, Pinkie. I was doing my afternoon exercises and lost track of time," Dash apologized. Pinkie giggled and responded, her tone gleefully reassuring. "Oh, that's okay. You're here now. What's a few more minutes? I've been so excited thinking about all the fun we're gonna do. I haven't stopped bouncing since I woke up. I almost forgot to breathe. I've been so happy." Dash gave a slightly uncomfortable laugh. She always appreciated Pinkie's friendly, outgoing way of life, but her overabundant enthusiasm almost crept her out. Dash was polite. However, if Pinkie got this worked up, it must be good, whatever it was. "So are you ready to get started, Rainbow Dash? I've got everything all ready," the pink one said. Dash psychic herself up. "You betcha, Pinkie. You got what you needed to do planned? We gonna prank somebody? I got a couple of good ones I've been thinking about. Or maybe you got some stunts you think I would try? Or maybe making cupcakes!" Pinkie happily announced. "Baking?" Dash was disappointed. "Pinkie, you know I'm not good at baking. Remember the last time?" "Oh, it's not that of a problem at all. I only need your help making them. I'll be doing most of the work," Pinkie explained. Dash thought about it for a moment and said, "Well, all right. Guess that's okay. What exactly do you want me to do?" "That's the spirit. Here you go." Pinkie handed Dash a cupcake. Dash was puzzled. "I thought I was helping you bake." "You will be. I made this one just for you before you got here." "So, is this some sort of taste testing or something?" "Sorta," Pinkie said. Dash shrugging and popped the pastry into her mouth. She chewed a bit and swallowed. "Not bad." "Okay, now what?" Dash asked. "Now," Pinkie informed, "you take a nap." Upon hearing that, Dash felt lightheaded. Her world spun around, and seconds later, she dropped to the floor. When Dash regained consciousness, she found herself in the dark room. She tried to shake her head, but only found that her taunt lever strap kept it firmly in her place. She struggled to move, but the braces around her chest and had her limbs glued to the upright pranks. Her legs were spread wide apart. The only part of her did not tie down were her wings, as the frame was backless. As she writhed, Pinkie jumped into her line of sight. "Goody, you're awake! Now we can get started," she gleefully said. She was pushing a cart covered with cloth. Pinky, what's going on? I can't move, Dash said in worry. Well, duh, you're tied down, Pinky chided. That's why you can't move. I didn't think you needed to be told that. But why? What's happening? I thought you said I was going to help make me cupcakes. You are helping, you see. I ran out of the special ingredient, and I need you to get more. Special ingredient? Dash was now breathing heavily and started to panic. What special ingredient? Pinky giggled and responded, You silly! Dash's eyes widened, her face contorted in fear. When she finally started to laugh, Woo, you really got me there, Pinkie Pie. I mean, tricking me into thinking you're going to get made into a cupcake. I gotta tell you, this is the best prank when you are the best. Pinky giggled even more. Aw, thanks, Dash. But I haven't done any pranks today, so I can't accept praise. Dash was struggling again. Pinky, come on, this isn't funny. Then why were you laughing? Pinky grabbed the cloth, wiped it out of the cart. The top of the tray contained various sharp medical tools and knives carefully organized and ready. There was a medicine bag and several other objects next to them. Dash was in full panic mode. She was starting to hyperventilate. Her mind was racing, and she started to try to reason with the pink pony. You can't do this, Pinky. I'm your friend. I know you are, and that's why I'm so happy. It's what I've got you here. We get to share our last moments together, just you and me. She was skipping again. But the other ponies will wonder where I am. When the clouds piled up, they'll come looking for me, and then you'll get found out, Dash said, desperate. Oh, Dash, Pinky said. Don't worry. There are plenty of Pegasus to take care of a few clouds. And besides, no one will find out. I mean, how long have you think I've been doing this? With that, the lights suddenly came to life and showcased the rest of the room. Oh God, no. Dash reeled in horror at the image that presented to her. The room was decorated with a typical twisted but Pinkie Pie flair. Colorful streamers, dried in trails, danced around the ceiling. Brightly painted skulls of all sizes were stuck on the walls, and organs done up in pastels filled with helium tied to against back of the chairs. The tables and chairs were made of bones and flesh of past ponies. Dash cringed a bit at the centerpiece on the table nearest to her. The heads of 4 foals, their eyes closed like they were sleeping, wearing party hats made from their own skin. She recognized them as Applebloom's classmate. She darted her eyes back and forth, and then gazed up at the patchwork banner hanging from the rafters, made from several pony hides. The words, "Life is a Party," were scrawled in red. Dash's attention was stolen by the party horn unflaring ticking of her nose. She saw Pinky standing in front of her. The party pony was holding a dress quilted from the cutie marks. On her back fluttered 6 Pegasus wings of all of different colors. As she skipped in excitement, her necklace of unicorn horns loudly clacked together. Like it? She said. I made it myself. Dash pleaded. Pinky, please. I'm sorry if I did anything to you. I didn't mean it. Please let me go. I promise I won't tell anybody. Oh, Dash, you didn't do anything. It's just that your number came up and, well, I don't make the rules. We can't turn back now. Rainbow Dash was tearing up. How could this be happening? Aw, don't be sad, Dash, Pinky said. Look, this will cheer you up. I brought you a friend. Seemingly out of nowhere, Pinky displayed a blue and yellow painted skull. It was about pony size, but it was a very defining feature, a beak. Dash was freaking out. Is that? Hey, Dash, let's hang together. These ponies are so lame-os. Dweebs, and dweebs, Pinky mimicked. I caught her right before she left town. Remember when I left the party for about 20 minutes? That wasn't enough time for her to, of course. I had to wait until after the party to do it. But boy, I am glad I did. It was worth the favor alone. Griffins taste like 2 animals at once. It's so amazing. I know she didn't have the number like everyone else in Ponyville, but when I was going to get another chance to try a griffin, in hindsight, I probably should have asked where she came from, so I can get more. But I forgot. I'll tell you what though. She was quite a fighter, lasted for a long time. She was much fun for me. I got a chance to play with somebody other than a pony and try new things. Too bad as she was such a potty mouth. She said so much bad stuff. I had to take her tongue out. You know, bad language makes for bad feelings, Dash. Dash didn't have anything to say. She just sobbed and writhed. Well, Pinky said, putting the skull down. That's enough reminiscing. It's time to begin. She picked up the scalpel and walked over to Dash's right flank. Without any flair, she put the blade an inch above her cutie mark and started a circular cut around it, her lungs working overtime. Dash shouted in pain and tried desperately to pull away, but the braces held her still. Finishing the incision, Pinky grabbed the curved, skinning knife from the tray. She worked it underneath her skin and sliced the hide away from the muscle. Dash ground her teeth as she tearfully watched as her flesh came off. Pinky then moved to the other side and completed the other flank. Once she was done, Pinky held up both cutie marks in front of her friend and started waving them like pom-poms. Dash just whimpered. Her thighs burned. Placing the skin down, Pinky selected the large butcher knife and walked over behind Rainbow Dash. Hope you don't mind. I think I'm gonna have a wing now. Pinky laughed. She grabbed the left one and played with it for a few seconds. Then stretching the wing out, she brought the blade down instantly. Dash screamed and thrashed at her appendage. The movement threw Pinky Pie's off aim. She tried to hit the cutie mark again, but missed wide and left a huge slice in Rainbow's back. Dash, you gotta stay still, or I'll keep missing. She took another whack and hit the target. She swung again and again, blood spreading into the air, but realizing she wasn't getting anywhere, the blade just wasn't going through the bone. I guess I forgot to sharpen it. I'll try something else, she stated as she tossed the knife over to her shoulder, the blade embedding in itself in the table. The crying Rainbow Dash heard the sound of the metal box opening and closing. I gotta say, Dash, why do they call it a hacksaw? It doesn't hack. Hacking is what I was doing with the knife. This is a saw. I don't get it. Pinky placed the tool over the last attempt and effortlessly sailed through the bone and skin. The painful feeling of the teeth, biting into her, made Dash want to vomit. She watched helplessly as her wing flew over her head and landed with the huff on the table. Pinky moved to the next and started sawing. Dash didn't struggle this time. She even gave up trying to fight and just cried. Then the sawing abruptly paused. Pinky was the only halfway done, the wing hanging off by only a silver. Hey Dash, she piped up. Think fast. Suddenly she yanked the wing hard as she could. The bone snapped, but the skin held tight, and the pole ripped along with the long strip of flesh down Dash's back to her rump. The unexpected trauma caused her body to seize. She felt the warm release between her legs as her pelvis tensed up. Dash's loud, unending melody of pain filled the room. Unable to catch her breath, she blacked out. She awoke again with a gasp. The stench of her urine filled the mucus-cracked nostrils. She saw a very pouty Pinkie Pie, removing the adrenaline needle from her chest, stomping her hooves. She frustrated Pinky lashed out. Didn't anyone teach you to mind your manners? It's very rude to fall asleep when someone invites you to come over and spend time with them. How would you like it if I came over to your house and went to sleep? Oh my, I'm sorry, Dash. You were boring. I think I'll take a nap. You really think I always like doing this by myself? I told you how I got excited when I found out you were next. I was excited to have a friend to be here with me while I worked, but no, you had to be inconsiderate. You know, I thought you were tough. I thought you could have handled everything. I've had full stand-up better than you. Don't I have to baby you now, huh? Is that how you want me to remember you? As a baby? She stopped to catch her breath. Dash blinked and softly cried. Her back was on fire. Pinky then popped something red into her mouth and began to chew. She noticed where Dash was staring right at her. What? She asked. Oh, this? Holding up a piece. While you were asleep, I got a little impatient and helped myself a sample. I got it from your leg. It's not bad. You want to try some? Without waiting a response, she shoved the strip of meat down revolted Rainbow Dash's mouth. She immediately spit it out. Pinkie picked it up. If you don't want it, you could have said no. She then ate the discarded, snotty morsel. It's not like you haven't had it before. Swallowing, she turned her attention to the small can on the tray. She removed the lid, revealing that it was filled with burning coals. Sitting on top of the fire were several large nails. Dash began to panic again. Pinkie picked up the can and walked over to Dash's left, carefully picking up the nail, grabbing a hammer. She positioned the spike at the stem between her leg and hoof. Pinkie! No! No! Dash screamed. No, no! The hammer came down, and the nail punctured her under her skin. The white, not hot burning was too much. Dash pulled and thrashed at her brace. Her skin rubbed and tore. Pinkie tied up the line another, but couldn't find her aim. She let out a frustrated grunt as she pulled the hammer back up to take a wild swing. Dash burst out, crying and begging, "Please stop! Please, please stop!" Pinkie rolled her eyes, putting the hammer back down. She walked back up in front of her friend. She pensively stared at the broken Pegasus. Gilda didn't even cry this much when she was stuck at that live Paris spike down her throat. Pinkie thought about it for a moment of what to do next. Then there was a sudden spark in her imagination. She grabbed a gear wheel on the rack, laid Rainbow Dash on her back. She moved Dash's hind legs, bringing the can with her. Pinkie picked up the hammer again and shoved the searing piece of metal down the bottom of Dash's hoof. Dash screamed again. Pinkie put one of her hoof. Next, she located the small generator on the tray, trying to copper up wires of the nails. She gave Dash a wink and flipped the switch. Electricity socked through Dash's body. The blue pony reacted immediately. Body seized, muscles struck taut, her hips thrusted skyward, and her eyes rolled back as she let out a deep, throat-shutting cry. Pinkie giggled and danced in place as she turned up the juice. Dash convulsed uncontrollably. Her bladder emptied once again. After about 5 minutes, Pinkie shut off the power. The area smelled slightly cooked flesh and burnt earth smell. She put Dash right upright and tried to snap the delirious, drooling pony back to her attention. Dash! Dash! Wake up! Rainbow Dash managed to give her modicum weak acknowledgement. Pinkie reached for the medicine bag and produced a large syringe. All right, time for the last round. Dash looked at the needle, and Pinkie took that question as to what it was. It's something to take the pain away, she informed, as she walked around Dash's ruined backside. She stuck the needle into the lower part of her spine. Dash flinched. Coming to the front again, she told her friend, in a few minutes, you won't be able to feel anything below your ribcage. Then you'll be able to stay awake to watch the harvest. Dash started to cry again. Pinkie, she trembled out. Yeah? I want to go home. Dash openly sobbed. Yeah, I can see you wanting to do that, the party pony replied. Sometimes I just want to give up and say I'm done with this mess and go to bed. But you know what? You can't shrug off your responsibilities. You gotta pull yourself together and meet the challenges head on. That's the only way you're going to get ahead in life. Dash cried. Minutes passed and the drug took effect. Dash was numb from her chest to her flanks. Aware of this, Pinkie approached with her scalpel. The only faint smiling glanced to Dash. She made a long cut across her pelvis just above her. Moving up her body, she drew a similar incision under her ribs. One final cut was made down to her stomach, connecting the first two. Looks like I got my eye on you, Dash. With a moist, gooey sound, the new door flapped around, open. The sight of her own organs and the lack of feeling caused Dash's breathing to intensify. Pinkie sliced open the abdominal sac, grabbed the large intestines, separating it from the rest of the digestive tract, pulling them down, fomenting a cavity. Pinkie was getting the joyful and started making jokes. Dash, growing weaker from the new source of blood loss, and tried to shut off the comedy act. Pinkie was laughing. Look at me! I'm Rarity, she said, slinging around the tube around her neck and and spreading blood all over directions. Isn't my scarf so pretty? Reaching back in, she cut the smaller intestine out, squeezing the excess out. Pinky filled it through her teeth, but of course, back and forth. Dentists say you gotta floss every day. Dash. She had blood, not the excrement. She did have blood. Rainbow Dash was barely awake of what was going on anymore. The shock was causing her to fade. Pinky got disappointed driving back to the guts. She ramped up her routine. Don't go yet, Dash. She started to pull out the rest of her organs, stopping at each one. I know I could be a real pain in the ass, but I'm just a kidney with ya. You really gotta learn to live her up to it. Boy, these jokes are getting bladder. Guess you developed a stomach for them. She placed the discarded body parts into a bucket, keeping the last one for a bit longer. Ooh, bagpipes, she said, placing the tube in her mouth in the armpit, and a split of acid hit her tongue. Ew, hey, there's your cupcake, Dash. Dash didn't hear. She then slipped from her unconsciousness from moments ago. Pinky, not satisfied yet, hit her with another adrenaline shot. Dash woke up one last time, her heart jumping. Her blood flowed out faster. It wouldn't be long now. Pinky put Dash down, her own back straddled on her chest, scalpel at the ready. Rainbow Dash, I am disappointed. I thought you would have lasted longer. I really wanted to spend more time with you before we got here. But I guess it's my fault. I should have taken it a bit slower. But oh well, it was really nice knowing you, Dash. The blade sunk into the one's throat. It worked its way up her chin. Coming back down, it circled around her neck. The last thing Dash felt was her skin being cut away from her skull, the metal scraping her teeth. She was gone. Pinkie Pie stared in the mirror. She did a really good job, even keeping the eyelids. She winked. Dash winked back. Pinkie smiled. But still she was sad as her friend was now gone. It only lasted 50 minutes, not nearly as long as she wanted. She looked back at the cadaver hanging from the center of the room, the last of its fluids draining from the pan. Yep, no more Rainbow Dash. Pinkie cocked her head. She was beginning to take notice of the fact that there wasn't really much damage. In fact, she began to think, an idea exploded in her head. She was good with sewing and had all the pieces. All she needed to do was put her back together. Yeah, just get some stuffing and bingo. She'd have a Rainbow Dash forever. In fact, that's what she would do for all of her friends when their numbers came up. She was so excited. She skipped over the body with the skinner to get started. The cupcakes can wait. Pinkie had a new friend to make. Silver Spoon suddenly woke up. She was on her back and couldn't move. She couldn't see where was she. Freaking out, she was about to scream when the pony from the bakery appeared in front of her. Hi, she giggled. Where am I? What's going on? The frightened little fool said. Oh, well, you see, your number came up and I got made cupcakes, Pinkie explained. What does that mean? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. I wouldn't worry if I was you. It'll be over soon. She approached a girl, the scalpel at the ready, when a small voice called her from behind. Miss Pinkie Pie, what are you doing? She paused and took a look at Apple Bloom. The yellow baby pony walked up with her with an angry, solid look on her face. Silver Spoon started to feel relieved. I can't believe you're doing this, she pouted. You said this was going to be mine. Pinkie apologized. Oops, sorry about that. I guess I forgot. Here you go. She handed the blade over. Apple Bloom climbed on the table and stood over her prey. Silver Spoon tried to struggle. She stared the fear at Apple Bloom in her apron. The pink apron was a shiny tiara on it. Silver Spoon started to cry. Apple Bloom grinned and opened her mouth. Hey, Silver Spoon, guess who's gonna be a blank flank?